everybody, it's Caylyn. Cozy up because we're going to get into a really interesting social media phenomenon that's going on right now that's been called motivational pressure. So let me start by reading you a tweet. If you don't come out of this quarantine with either a new skill, starting what you've been putting off like a new business, more knowledge, you didn't ever lack the time, you lacked the discipline. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell down below to see more videos like this. Settle in, friends. I did another video where I talked about friends on social media, and I wanted to do something on motivational pressure and guilt tripping because that is something that has been, we're seeing a lot of it on social media right now with this pandemic, and no bueno. Motivational pressure is not motivational. It can actually make us feel worse about ourselves. And I want to take this tweet apart. There was also a trauma psychologist that weighed in on this, and she did not censor herself with her opinion on this. And it really resonated with me, so I wanted to share that with you because I think it's super relevant. So, analyzing this tweet now. If you didn't, kind of sounds like a threat. I definitely don't think it's meant to be that way. I think what it's supposed to do is encourage you to reflect, but it's done in such a way that I don't think it's particularly motivational or helpful. To me, it comes across as a little bit threatening. Next, looking at the little list of things there. Again, I think it's meant to, what it's supposed to do is inspire people to think and reflect on, having the time to be able to do things like this. But if I manage to spring clean at 68% of my apartment, I will consider that a success. Thank you very much. I think in this way, you need to be focusing on things that you value. It doesn't necessarily have to be any of the things listed here, which are all very much based in self-education. Now, don't misunderstand. Self-education, super important, and I am a big advocate for always improving and always working on yourself. But I just want to point out to people who are posting things like this that we are currently going through a collective trauma. If you get out of this pandemic and the only thing that you did was survived and maybe have a little bit more resilience for future things, you are winning. And just following up on what I said about, this is a crisis, we're going through a pandemic, this is collective trauma. That last line, you didn't ever lack time, you lacked discipline. I mean, why don't you just sucker punch me in the gut? At least that hurt goes away faster. I mean, with that, it's making me and other people feel bad about having days where we don't feel good or don't want to do anything. We're always going to have our ups and downs in every day, and especially going through something right now, there's a lot to that. But I'm going to read the post to you that this trauma psychologist, Ala Hijazi, wrote that became very, very popular and ended up on Upworthy because I think she really, really said it best. I thought I was spared the horrid motivational phrase going around now. If you don't come out of this with a new skill, you never lacked time, you lacked discipline. Until I saw it on my local yoga studio page. As a trauma psychologist, I'm utterly horrified, enraged, and bewildered about how people can believe and spread this phrase in good conscience. We are going through a collective trauma that is bringing up profound grief, loss, panic over livelihoods, panic over loss of lives of loved ones. People's nervous systems are barely coping with the sense of threat and vigilance for safety, or alternating with feeling numb and frozen and shutting down in response to it all. People are trying to survive poverty, fear, retriggering of trauma, retriggering of other mental health difficulties. Yet someone has the nerve to accuse someone of lack of discipline for not learning a new skill, and by a yoga teacher. This cultural obsession with capitalistic productivity and always spending time in a productive, fruitful way is absolutely maddening. What we need is more self-compassion, more gentle acceptance of all the difficult emotions coming up for us now, more focus on gentle ways to soothe ourselves and our pain and the pain of loved ones around us, not a whipping by some random fucker making us feel worse about ourselves in the name of motivation. Amen, sister. Tell me down below in the comments what you thought about what Ala Hijazi had to say about this. She definitely did not censor herself, but I think that is what we need. People on the internet who are honest, who are offering an alternate perspective, and who are helping to boost people up in a positive way. We need to learn how to do that. Not everyone knows how to use that kind of language, especially when we post so quickly. Make sure you check out some of my other videos that I have on social media. There's links to them down below and in the cards, and there is also a link to the article about this statement that Ala Hijazi made about this motivational pressure. Thank you so much for joining me, my friends, and I will see you next time. Go out there and please be kind on the interwebs.